And we'll wait for our first applicant to come online. And I will post the question order while we wait. Please let me know if I missed anyone. Hi, Songlin.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
How are you?
Good, good. Oh, sorry, I should say good afternoon, everyone.
I was going to say,
Yeah, it's a long day.
Wake up or what? Yeah, okay.
It's a long day, yeah.
Is it just you today?
Myself and Maggie Ma from our company will join.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I believe the client, Ravi, he said that he would like to join if he has a moment. He has an appointment with his client, but he will try his best to join.
Okay.
Yeah.
Give me a minute. I just have to unlock my computer. Okay. Did we want to wait for him?
I think we are good. He just said that he would like to join, but it is not necessary.
Okay. Okay, we can get going. Welcome to the Edmonton Design Committee for the DB presentation of the 107th Street Mixed Use Project. We would like to remind you that this is a public meeting. We have all received and reviewed your submission package. Your team will have 10 minutes to present, and then we will go virtual roundtable of the committee members for questions. After the presentation, the committee will deliberate and respond to you in writing within 48 hours. I will now turn it over to you to introduce your team and your project.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, Craig. Good afternoon, everyone. So today, myself and our designer and project manager, Maggie Ma, will join the meeting and introduce this project. So I would like to share my screen. So let me see.
Yeah, we can see it.
Perfect. I will try to make a full screen. Can you see the full screen?
Yeah, looks good to me.
Perfect. Okay, so today we would like to present the mixed-use development in 10839 107th Street. It is a mixed-use building with a 30-unit apartment. This is today's agenda. About the plan concept. According to the city's Central Madoga ARP, the trend of this area include poorly maintained rental housing. Most of the existing house and apartment in this area are old and lack of maintenance. The residents would like to see new housing built for families as a way to help stabilize their community So far, there has been little redevelopment interest in, and the land continues to sit vacant. Lack of higher density housing opportunity. There is a considerable amount of vacant for underutilized industry land in central Madoga, north of 105 Avenue. People are leaving this area. The community needs new residents to maintain the population and lack of neighborhood services. So to meet this challenge and the need, our client want to build a mixed-use building to provide both the residential and the commercial community service for this neighborhood. The site context plan. Actually, this location, it is one of the most desired or the developing area in Edmonton. It is close to the existing apartment area. It has the great location, convenient to almost everything. It has the walking distance to It has the walking distance to 107 Avenue commercial area, McEwen University, Parks, Hospital, Kingsway Mall, LRT station, and school, and it has convenient access to the downtown core. The surrounding character. The site context is made up of the following. There are 1.5 to 2.5 story house and 2.5 to 3 story apartment to the west across to 107th Street. 1.5 story housing and empty lot to the north. There is a public playground north to the 109 Avenue, which is a benefit for the daycare. There are 1 to 1.5 story house and 2 story townhouse to the east, and 1 to 1.5 story house to the south. These are some photos of the existing site. We have the photo looking from the 109 Avenue, the 107th Street, and as well as the back alley. The planning and policy alignment. This project site area is about 2,094 square meters. The zoning is medium scale residential, RMH16. Central Madoga is an inner city community and is experiencing problems related to the growth of the city. It is a desirable place to live for many because it offers mature, attractive residential area and is right next to downtown, Royal Alex Hospital, Kingsway Mall, and United Square Brewery District. As well, it is adjacent to 2 major institutional land use, the McEwen University, Northwest College, and NATE, which generate additional demand for the housing in this area. Our development will be consistent with the city's Central Madoga ARP to build a new 4-story mixed-use building with 30 apartment units to provide new living opportunity for the university students, new graduates, and the small families. Daycare, personal services, and office retail space are also provided on the main floor. The building area is 770 square meters. The total floor area is 3,010 square meters. Brick veneer, metal siding, hardy siding, and panel, and EIF stucco are used for exterior wall finishes. The material and colors match existing buildings in the neighborhood. The building massing also match and enhance the prevalent rhythm along streets and open spaces. Meets existing street proportion and the plan context, and provide positive image from street and walkway. The rear unit on the main floor is on the same level with exterior grade to provide accessibility. These are the urban design analysis it is pretty much the same as what we show in the design report, which submitted to the member. So I probably I don't need to repeat it again. The project overview. This is a 4-story mixed-use building with 30 apartment units, daycare, personal service, office, and retail space. The tenants are not decided yet, so it is open. The building height is 51 feet or 15.54 meters tall, which meet the RMH16 zoning maximum 60 meters high requirement. It is located at 10839 107th Street. There are many existing apartments in this area. The site area is 2,094 square meter. The total floor area is 3,010 square meter. So the FAR is 1.44. We have also provided a rooftop patio amenity space for the residents. The site plan design. So as you can see, this is a corner lot, and we have the commercial daycare users on the main floor. We have designed the retail, the office, or the personal service entry are facing 109 Street and facing 107th Street. Sorry, 109 Avenue and 107th Street. And we have put the daycare entry in the middle of the commercial entry and the apartment entry. Apartment entry is at the southwest corner of the lot. We have also designed the service parking on the backside facing the back alley. The ramp to the underground parquet is also accessed from the back alley. Building design. This building is designed to meet the city's zoning bylaw and Main Street development requirement and Central Madauga area redevelopment plan. Because we have the commercial use on the main floor, so the front setback is set to be just over 1 meter to provide a convenience access for the customers and the peoples. The proposed building is 4-story and 51 feet high, which meet the zoning, the RMH16 zoning requirement. The front setback is 1.29 meters, which meet the Main Street development requirement. The rear setback is 16.22 meters. Both side setback are 3.05 meters. All meet or exceed the zoning bylaw requirement. Pedestrian access and inclusive bicycle store are in front of the building. Handicap and vehicle parking store by storage are in the backyard facing alley and on the main floor interior space. Building design. The proposed development will follow the city's neighborhood reinvestment, walkability, and urban design principle. We have used a modern style design with the material and color to be neutral to match the adjacent, existing, and new building. The building mass, material, and colors are inconsistent with other apartment buildings in this area. The commercial space and apartments main entry are facing front 107th Street with featured canopy and a landscape service. Signage, address sign are clearly provided near the entry. Apartment also has a rear entrance facing the parking stores. Party panel and siding, metal siding, EIF and stucco and stone veneer with neutral colors and accent feature element are used in the elevation design to create design interest and human scale feeling. We have also provided different amenity space in this project. The amenity space are delivered and softly distributed throughout the building, offering a variety of private and intimate settings for the different types of gatherings. These include a cozy party room, a compact yet functional gym, a communal balcony on the second floor, and a warm, inviting rooftop patio, each designed to meet a range of the social and recreational needs. The welcoming rooftop patio offers a variety of flexible furniture arrangement, creating multiple intimate space for the private conversation. In the summer, residents can enjoy abundant sunlight and a pleasant breeze while taking in the lush green view of the Central Madaga Park with family and friends from the comfort of their own building. The communal balcony on the second floor offers a private and intimate outdoor gathering space. It is small yet thoroughly designed. Layout enhance a sense of warmth and security, providing cozy area for close interaction and meaningful conversation. So we have shown some rendering and concept idea of the amenity space. That's the rooftop patio and the balcony on the second floor. These are the rendering for the gym and the party room. The party room situate on the main floor close to the primary building entrance. The room is thoughtfully designed with a cozy aesthetics, creating a comfortable and inviting atmosphere. A small but well-equipped gym that provides all essential workout function despite its compact size. We also have the CPTED, which is the crime prevention design. This building consists of 30 apartment units and 16 stores of underground parking. The parquet structure is located beneath the building. Parking requirements are reduced as the city has removed the parking requirement in the zoning bylaw, but we still provide enough parking, including the service parking and the underground parquet. The elevator and stair vestibule and lobby will be well lit and fitted with glazed door to allow for clear sign lines. Handicap store is located in proximity to the elevator vestibule basement lobby, with consideration towards visibility from the vestibule to these doors. Access to the parquet by residents will be by proximity reader key fob operator, and exit from the parquet will be by photo eye. Fully monitored secure cameras are provided for additional security. Parquet walls and ceiling to be painted white or light color. The west end of the building is in full view of 107th Street and incorporates the main access from the development. Street lighting and building light fixtures will illuminate the pedestrian walkway. The north end of the building is in full view of the Dry Lane and the 109 Avenue.
Sorry to interrupt, Songlin. We're just at time, so could I ask you to wrap up in the next minute?
Oh, okay, sure.
Thanks.
Yeah, and the residential lobby is located at the southwest of the site. We have also provided the adequate and appropriate side lighting. The building elevation, west elevation, east elevation, north and south elevation. The floor plan, basement, we provide about 16 parking store. Main floor, as you can see, we have the apartment lobby, we have the daycare and 3 CRU. Second floor, we have 10 units and the balcony amenity space. Third and fourth story, each floor has 10 units. The rooftop patio. The building section, the landscape plan. So we have the landscape along the building and both the front yard. Also, we provide the landscaping in the parking lot. These are the trees and the shrubs used for this project. The signage, the lighting plan. So we have used a wall lamp installed on the exterior perimeter of the building, the pot light on all soffit, the wall light and bullet light on the rooftop patio and balcony. And also exterior light are controlled by the photo cell. These are the material we are using for this project. The sunshade lantern size. Yeah. And this summarizes my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Songlin, for your presentation. As we move to the roundtable question portion, I'd like to remind the committee and the applicant to please attempt to keep questions and responses concise and limit to questions to 2 per committee member. With that, Kevin, can you start us off?
Yep. Thanks, Songlin, for your presentation. I've got a few questions or comments. The first is around residential waste collection. Is that handled with the 2 large waste collection bins that are shown in the enclosure in the back?
That's right.
Okay, so all waste management for the whole facility is out of those big bins?
That's right. And the
Okay.
city's waste management, they have reviewed and they think that works for them.
Yeah, okay. Next is about the building articulation and materiality. Maybe if you could go to a perspective view. My question is around the brick cladding that's kind of sandwiched mid-volume on the building. And it may be just a preference thing, but it feels a bit odd to have that brick material, like a real durable kind of vernacular material that's used in the neighborhood, maybe used mid-span on the building in just a thin sliver rather than used on the ground floor as a foundational material to the building. Wonder if you can just comment, Songlin, about the choice to use brick in that narrow band rather than as like a real durable base material.
The narrow band between the main floor and the second floor, right?
Yeah.
Around the second floor.
Yeah.
Yeah, for that, we would like to create, say, kind of like a separation of the commercial and the residential portion. So it is just kind of like the designer's choice to create a different, a little bit different style in between the commercial and the residential. Yeah.
Yeah, I understand the principle. I question the material choice and whether if you're spending some money on brick on the building, whether giving that kind of ground floor, main floor, that material might root it a little stronger. I'll leave that to my architectural colleagues to comment on a bit more. If anyone else picks up on that, or if not, no biggie. And then my last question or comment is just around the rooftop patio, and appreciating that it's just a rendering, so it's tough to say, but it feels really expansive space with some furniture just kind of plunked into one portion of it. There's not a real definition of space or a way of controlling or limiting access or defining space or sheltering from wind or anything up there. And I just wonder whether you considered sheltering and defining that rooftop patio space a bit more to make it a bit more habitable.
Yeah, absolutely. We are thinking to have some portable planter to separate the space. We have, because we don't need to use the entire roof for the amenity space, and the client, they just want to create a nice but enough space for the residential. So for the residents, so we just use pretty much half of that. But yes, I see, I hear you, and actually we have planned to have something like the planter, movable planter to sit there to make the boundary between the amenity space and the roof, the rest of the roof area.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a very harsh growing environment for plants, so I would exercise caution in using planters as a primary space shaping or screening or buffering tool on a roof garden or in a rooftop environment, unless there's like a really good maintenance regime that's included in there.
You are absolutely
That stuff
right.
stays alive.
Yeah, we are not planning to do the green roof, but pretty much it will be, say, kind of like a portable planters.
Yeah, raised planters. Yeah. Okay, that's the only comments or questions I have. I'll pass it along.
Thank you, Kevin.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kevin. Mindy.
Thank you, Craig. Thanks for your presentation, Songlin. I'm really happy to see the amenity spaces, especially the outdoor space, so very crucial in our climate. To build off what Kevin mentioned, it does look quite busy with the number of materials that are being used, so that might benefit from some further thought and articulation. But yeah, otherwise looks like a good project. No questions. Thanks.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, Mindy. And yeah, absolutely. We will consider about the elevation design and to really simplify the elevation.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Awesome.
Thank you. Nick, you're up.
Yeah, thanks for the presentation. I tend to agree with Kevin on the brick, particularly when you look at the connection just across the road in the corner to the park. McDougall Park, you've got some brick elements there as entrance features and extending through the school. So, you know, I'd sort of feel that brick is missing. It'd be nice to bring it down maybe to the corner of the building and where your shops are at the ground level. I think would really just add a bit of flavor, bringing that design element back and forth. And I'll concur with my colleagues just in regards to the top, particularly maybe some sheltering there as well from exposure to weather, just from the sun and stuff like that. But that's all design elements. Overall, I think, you know, this type of thing's great for a neighborhood, but the brick is probably the one that's, I feel you can play with a little bit better at the ground level and really accentuate the shop frontages.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, Nick. Yeah, Maggie and myself, we will review the design. We will incorporate your and Kevin's comment to our revised design.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Nick. Karen.
Oh, hi there. Thank you for the presentation, Songlin. One concern I have is I'm looking at the amenities, the indoor amenity space. You call them cozy, but you know, they're really small rooms. And you know, living in a condo myself with that, you know, size of amenity rooms, they aren't used. They're just not big enough. So I don't know. I would encourage you to choose either one of the two, whether it's a gym or a party room, rather than trying to be everything to everybody. I don't know if that's gonna work as intended. Just because, yeah, just the use of that space. I don't know. I question the practicality of it. And the other thing I would encourage is, as I always do, some balconies. Use of balconies as opposed to not. Even the tiniest little bit of outdoor space really can improve quality of life. Those are my thoughts.
Okay, yeah, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, I will review with the client about the amenity space and the balcony suggestion.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you, Karen. Jonathan.
Hi, thank you for the presentation, Songlin. I have some similar comments to the others. I just want to emphasize, like, you know, some of the commentary around you know, the building being this kind of boxy modern design is an interesting approach because, you know, it's certainly not the character of Central McDougall. It may be similar to nearby apartment buildings, but is that really the baseline that we're aiming for when those nearby apartment buildings themselves don't embody the character of Central McDougall? So I feel like we need to strive a bit higher, and be a bit more intentional around our selection of materials for this neighborhood. I would say the brick is one material that is successful, but the placement of it is not. So I think if you are, you know, looking to use some type of kind of red brick to be a bit more consistent with the character of Central McDougall, then like others have said, it should probably be grounding the building, you know, serving as almost like a false podium to the building. So maybe the first and second levels are brick, and the rest are a different material. But I think to better bring this in alignment with the character of Central McDougall, I think there just needs to be a reduction in the different colors of materials being used,
Yeah.
as well as some consideration around you know, that kind of like hierarchy of materials, and whether if the brick is sort of the durable base to the building, and then there's something lighter above, then I think that's fine. But I think it's a real opportunity, because I think it's a great project, and it'll contribute a lot to the community. And you know, all of these CRUs on the ground level will be really appreciated by the community, and everything. It's great, but it's also going to be highly visible. And so I think for, you know, the community to see this as sort of like a hub and kind of like a landmark in the middle of Central McDougall, I think it'd be prudent to kind of you know, take a second look at sort of what makes this specifically you know, fitting within the greater context of Central McDougall in terms of materiality, and prevents it from being a building, you know, that could be effectively in any other neighborhood. You know, what makes it specifically connected to the context of Central McDougall. And I think that will really help it, and will really ensure that it feels like a, you know, a landmark for the residents in the neighborhood. So that was kind of my main comment. I think otherwise it's a good project, and I don't really have other, you know, major concerns on my end. I think it's just around the materiality and like connecting it to Central McDougall, because it is a quite you know, historic neighborhood with a couple kind of prominent historic buildings, and so it's a good opportunity to, you know, really find a way to connect to that context a bit more. Yeah, so those just kind of comments to make and recommendations. Not really a question, but yeah, hopefully you consider those.
Yeah, I hear you. Thank you very much, Jonathan.
Thanks.
Thank you, Jonathan. David.
Yeah, thanks, Song, for your presentation. I greatly agree with Kevin's comments on the roof garden. I just think there needs to be a lot more thought spent on that area with regards to sort of the form and function of that space. I want to talk about the commercial frontage. I guess the first question I have about the commercial one is why you are using parkland pillar birch in storefront areas and creating a screen. Like I have no issue with using those same trees to screen the parking lot, but although it will, and from a SEPTED standpoint, it will limit visibility into the parking lot. So I'm just wondering why those trees were selected right in front of the storefront areas.
That's a good question, David.
If you don't have an answer, I would maybe reconsider that. And
yeah,
while you're reconsidering that, the other question I have is like, you know, that commercial frontage, it really needs to be better animated like the public realm needs to be better animated and create opportunities for gathering, and there's none of that right now. So, you know, some of the other things that I would suggest be considered is like seat walls or bench seating, waste receptacles, both along 109 Avenue and 107th Street, so that you can promote, you know, a little bit more activity, animation, and opportunities for gathering, especially for those within the neighborhood in front of these stores. And that would also consider why, you know, this addition of sod and this sod strip and single row of Kelsey dogwood along 107th Street frontage, which I just, it, from my standpoint, it won't survive. It doesn't really promote that, you know, activity along the public realm. And in my mind, it would be a bit of a pain to maintain along an active street frontage. So, so yeah, I there's a number of things with the commercial frontage that need to be maybe reassessed in my opinion. The last question or comment I have is with regards to, in your perspectives, illustrate landscape islands separating the service lane from the parking stalls. However, that's not what is provided in the site plan. And in my opinion, it really would be better to have, you know, those stalls that are situated adjacent to the service lane be landscaped. And I do not see the median island and the strips of blue oak grass plantings surviving a winter season. I don't, you know, they don't work well. So, but I, you know, as I said, like I really would promote and have you consider, you know, taking those 3 stalls and making them landscape islands. Yeah. And not using the medians or the strips. You can see the strips on your plan there of the grasses. As I said, one season of pushing snow out of that parking lot and those plants are going to be dead. So
yeah.
Anyway, thanks.
The landscape architect is not here, but I will let him know all your comment, and we will reconsider the plants in the front yard, and also we will add more side furniture to the front.
Okay. Thanks, Sungmin.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, David. Shay.
Good evening, Song Lin. Do you mind actually flipping over to page, I think 6? It's got most of the perspectives on it.
Page 6.
Let
me see.
While you're flipping there, I have a lot of similar comments to that of Jonathan. And I think this project in particular, even maybe more so than materiality, but I think would really benefit from a revision or an editing down of the material palette, both in terms of materials selected, but also in terms of colors. Even from a couple of these images, like there's a couple of accent colors in there, like the pinks to contrast. There's orange, there's blue, there's a couple different colors of hardy board, eaves, a couple different colors of masonry. So I think this project would really benefit from an editing down of everything that's incorporated. And even taking a look at a couple of these elevations, like even your 2 commercial facing elevations have different approaches to joints for the hardy panels, as well as profiles for windows. Some are casement, some are awning window styles. And so there's just a lot of activity and a lot of movement on the building, and it's relatively small with 4 stories. So I think editing some of that content out would benefit the project a lot. There's also a lot of competing geometries, different heights of parapets, different heights of boxes that all kind of come together, that if you pursued a couple of more stronger gestures, it would make the project feel less busy.
Mhm.
As well as to Jonathan's point, like with reference to the character, like even running through the street view of the neighborhood, there's not a lot of projects that actually reference these types of materials. There's no homes with hardy board. There's a lot of historical masonry buildings and a lot of 20th century buildings and homes that have vinyl siding, but this, especially facing the community park there's not a lot of reference to a lot of the ideas and materials and colors shown here. So in the center of this space, it does kind of feel foreign to the character. So as part of that revision to materiality and colors, it would help fit the project in better with its surrounding context. And then a small design piece that I think would help a little bit, and I don't want to speak too much to design, but on the north side of the site, there is a stairwell that's perpendicular or parallel to the road. And I feel like if you rotated that 90 degrees or relocated it elsewhere in the plan, you would have a more public facing commercial front on that north elevation.
Mhm.
That would provide more windows and even some corridor light for tenants versus having a fully enclosed corridor. So it might help with your window placements as well on the north elevation, because I feel like there's a lot to be desired when you just have a single exit door and a lot of that stairwell provided on that north elevation. I'm not 100% sure those windows would work as they're proposed. They might with the landings and the stairs, but have you take a look at that? But it would help the exterior elevation and maybe part of that editing down of the project. So I think those are my two main comments. Yeah, I'll leave Greg and Craig to speak more to the architecture. But thanks, Songlin.
Yeah, thank you, Shi. Yeah, absolutely. We will consider to use more the brick veneer to be more consistent with the neighborhood and to simplify building, to make the building less busier. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Shay. Greg.
Hello, Songlin. Thank you for your presentation. I'm going to echo a couple of the previous comments here. The two items I'll be limited here to are the exterior materiality and then the amenity areas. So specifically with the exterior materiality, I think, Shay's saying it pretty good. Right now it is coming across as busy. There's a lot of different material types. There's a lot of different colors going on. It's fairly busy, and you're not seeing too much of that approach around that neighborhood, even if they are older buildings. It's coming across as a lot. I'm not sure the locations they're being chosen for. Good example, the brick in the middle seems like the appropriate place. It seems like that's more of a main floor kind of material. The canopies are a bit low too. I don't think there's anything. They appear to be like 8 feet off, which seems a bit low. So it's kind of a really tight area at the entrance. The other thing is when you've given this presentation, so I'm looking at the building design imagery that you've got shared right now, and I look at the bottom right photo, and it doesn't match the presentation I have. It looks like there's a fenced area in the rear of the building, and then my version I have a whole bunch of parking. So is there an intent to put like a enclosed daycare park that's not part of our package? Or
yeah, you are absolutely right. This is one of the option, the design option, to have some playground area on the back side. So but later on we decided not to place the playground on the back side. But my apologize. Yeah, this should be the other image, not this image.
okay, so I'm seeing just a couple of inconsistencies when I'm going through the presentation, and like when I look at the material palette on page 8, I feel like there's more materials that are even being shown on this page in the other diagram, and some identification on the elevations would kind of help because they're being applied in a variety of different ways, and in some cases even like the apartment entrance, I'm not too sure what material that is. It's almost like wood board or wood finish boards. So it's very difficult for me to assess, but like I think Shay said it well, is that it's busy. There's a lot going on, and I think a paring down would go a long way.
Mhm.
The second piece I'd like to comment on is the amenity areas. So it's like, well, I like the fact that there could be a rooftop amenity. I don't think there's enough being shown here for me really to provide any feedback. It seems like it's not fully fleshed out. And I think it needs to be fleshed out so that we can truly understand what's going on up there. Because otherwise it just kind of looks like you get access to the roof and someone left some chairs up there. So I think we need to see that developed a little further. And then when we look at the amenity areas on the inside of the building, you know, we have this, I agree with, sorry, I don't know if it was Karen, but like the gym and the party room, they are quite small. There's no visible access to the exterior. So it's like, they kind of feel like, yeah, maybe just choose one, but they are in a unique location in the building where they create an L shape. So I don't know. I'd revisit that. They do seem quite small in that gym with no visibility out of it. Just kind of seems like could be thought differently. And then when we go up the floor to the second floor, there is a shared balcony amenity that overlooks the parkade. And while you showed a beautiful picture in this presentation, I'm not entirely sure that that experience is really going to be reflected in this balcony. So I'd probably like to see some further resolution of the amenity areas to really get a better understanding of how they're going to be used. And those are my comments.
Okay. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you, Greg. That leaves me. That's right. Overall, I kind of really appreciate the scale and the mixed use nature of the building. I think that's solid. I think another positive is how that CRU, you've wrapped a CRU around to face 107th. So you're facing two streets. My two kind of concerns were, you had mentioned that the neighborhood was looking for units for families. Have you considered any 3-bedroom units in the plans? I think I saw a 2-bedroom, maybe a 2+10 as the biggest.
Mm-hmm.
So certainly having 3 bedroom units would lend themselves more to families. Sorry, I think my second point was I think Greg, I think you mentioned it, the daycare. I don't understand how you will have a daycare in this facility without a fenced outdoor play area. It's kind of right out of the Child Care Act. You know, you have to accommodate at least 50% of your license capacity in an outdoor fenced play area that is within easy and safe walking distance from the program premises. So I don't see that kind of occupation happening without that space on the site. I don't know if having the park across the street would give that to you, because it's probably not fenced. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah.
But those are my two comments.
Yeah. Thank you, Craig. Yeah, I have reviewed it with the development officer, and also the client has some conversation with the daycare admin office. Because there is an existing public playground just north to 109 Avenue. If I can show the Google plan, you can see that the existing public playground is roughly about 5-minute walk from our daycare. So the client advised that the daycare admin officer think that's acceptable. That's also the reason we removed the playground inside our backyard, and we just let the daycare to use that public playground.
Okay, Wes, you have your hand up.
Yeah, sorry, I've seen this before, and I've designed daycare feasibility studies, etc. And I think you're bang on, Craig. Songlin, you can't use public park space as your daycare outdoor space. Okay, that's provincial regulation. So I'll just leave it at that. You need to provide on-site. Yeah, no, pardon me. I've been through this, so I think you really need to dive a little deeper into this, because you just can't march a bunch of kids down the street and do this. Your daycare has to have on-site secure outdoor space. So just an FYI that I don't want to waste a lot of time here, but you really need to figure that out, because Craig's right. That's it.
Okay, yeah, I will double check with the client, and also I will double check with the daycare admin office. But I have done a few daycare projects before, and we did have some daycare that we don't need to provide the outdoor playground because the public playground is nearby. But I will just double check. Thank you.
Yeah, I think you should. Thank you.
Yeah, no, like Wes, I kind of have experience with this, kind of trying to put it into a site after the fact as well, and that's always kind of a crucial element. So just kind of best to kind of think about that. Other than that, kind of that's all. That's all I had. Let me. Sorry, my computer is not happy with me today. Thank you for bringing this before the Edmonton Design Committee. We'll just take a 2-minute pause before we deliberate. You're welcome to stay on for the deliberations. We just ask that you don't participate or answer to anything as we speak. And like I said, we will get you something in writing within 48 hours.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. So with that, did we wanted to kick us off while I open the document? Heard a lot about the materiality of the building, the number of materials and how those materials were used. The amenity spaces were common comments.
I just noticed that I didn't mean to edit one comment, but I noticed one comment that was saying the better reflecting the historic character of the community and the adjacent buildings. I just removed the adjacent buildings comment because I feel like that's a bit complicated.
Totally fair. Absolutely true. Thanks, Jonathan. That's what I meant.
Sorry, I do not have access to our document yet. Give me a minute. Talk amongst yourselves.
Seems like a lot of the comments are popping up in the document here, Craig. It's a pretty long list. I feel, yeah, the materiality is being captured in here. Amenity areas are being captured. Center balconies.
Sorry, just trying to get to the document. My computer wants to authenticate me every 5 minutes today for some reason.
Wes, will we add a daycare comment in here, or is that out of our purview and just? What, Wes?
Sorry, pardon me.
Would we add the comment regarding like daycare play area in here, or is that kind of outside of our?
No, yeah, it's a dotted line, but I think we should, because I think it's something that hasn't been addressed, and it seriously affects the site plan, which is what we were looking at. So
absolutely.
Yeah,
And
I agree.
unfortunately, Imai's not here. He's the, DO. But I think we need to put it in a letter so that Imai can actually go, hey, what's going on here? So it's not a building code issue. It's a provincial legislation for daycares, and it affects site planning and HIDs and landscaping and all of that. So I think we need to flag that. Just if Imai was here, I would say maybe, maybe not, but he's not. So I think it needs to be in the letter so he is cognizant of that. I'm going to call it a deficiency. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Thank you. I'm not going to write this sentence. I can't. But it's just from experience and doing feasibility studies and stuff for daycares. Like I never heard or had an example of where you just didn't provide it and said, go to the schoolyard and do this. So that's my understanding, but I think Imai can work through that as the development officer and figure that out. So I think it should be on paper so he can work with Song Lin on that. Thank you.
Okay.
One of the things we didn't mention, but I wonder if there's any benefit for the committee to comment on it, is just taking a look at the parkade vents and the doghouse that's proposed. It is proposed on a pedestrian pathway and looks to conflict with a window placement for the daycare. So I understand that what's proposed would not be possible for ventilation, parkade ventilation. Whereas that's just the purview of our development officer to comment on.
Sorry, whereabouts are you seeing this?
It'd be on the parkade plan and then the main floor plan.
Oh, the doghouse and the louver. Gotcha.
Yeah. Would also be on the concrete sidewalk facing the parking lot. I'm not necessarily facing the public
Yeah.
thoroughfares.
You're right. It would impact the width of that sidewalk, which.
Yeah, I think that's in play as a comment, especially because it's adjacent to the accessible parking stalls where you might want to have more unobstructed sidewalk space for people wheeling. If I'm reading the plan right.
That sidewalk is 9'9". So it is generous.
Yeah.
But we don't have a dimension on the doghouse.
But it looks to be about 3 feet or so.
Yeah. Let's say that's. We often see those kind of things overlooked on the sidewalks. Usually it's a window well, but similar. Yeah, I think it's a valid comment.
Craig, I'm going to make a motion of non-support.
Sure, thank you. Does anyone want to second that?
I'll second.
Thanks, Greg.
And I believe I am correct that this didn't come to an informal again. Because once again, like a lot of the billion bullets here that we've put together could have been addressed through an informal presentation.
I believe you're correct, David.
Thank you.
We didn't see this as an informal, so yeah.
Yeah, and as I said, it is unfortunate because, as I said, I think a lot of these bulleted items could have been discussed and worked out with the proponent.
Is it fair to say that the committee in general is in favor or in support of the kind of land use scale and mass of the development, but it's the articulation and like some fundamental design architecture issues, but we don't object to the development typology or its scale or anything.
I'd agree with that.
I agree with that. Yeah, I think the scale is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. The scale, I think, is appropriate for the location in the neighborhood. So.
Yeah, I like adding that, David. Thank you. And I would agree that this list of bullets is becoming substantial enough to indicate that it's not appropriately resolved.
Are we all happy with the wording? Get a chance to read through it.
Yeah, I think so.
Looks like we're done editing. So for the motion of non-support as presented on the screen, in the same order, I guess just yes or no. Kevin?
Yes.
Mindy?
Yes.
Nick?
Sorry, yes.
Karen? Karen?
Helps if I turn my mic on. Yes.
Jonathan?
Yes.
David?
Yes.
Shay?
Yes.
Greg?
Yes.
Craig? Yes. Thank you all. The next item on the agenda is an informal. So prior to going to the informal, I make a motion that the Edmonton Design Committee meets in private pursuant to Section 29 of the Access to Information Act for the discussion of this item. Could I get a second?
Second.
Thank you, David. Is there any objection to the motion to meet in private? Hearing no objections, the motion is passed unanimously.